There we go. Finally. God, a bit late, to say the least, but, well, as you can see, it's EXFL round 10. But a couple laps in, but let's just have a look at the qualifying, see who got pole. Samuel Drake Lee actually got pole. I think that's his first of the season. That's pretty well done. It's currently a Ferrari 1-2. And of course, as you can see, quite wet. Of the notable things I would have mentioned in qualifying if I was here was JJ isn't here, so there's an opportunity for Frankie to extend the lead he has on top. And last week's winner isn't here, of course. That's what I wanted to say. And he is kind of doing that right now, stretching out his lead over his teammate Samuel Drake Lee, saying a fastest lap of the race. And we also have drifting returning. Returned he has, and just like Spain, hasn't gone well. He's 44 seconds off the grid. They got Stelios and Vinaris. I think Vinaris' second race of the season. And I think the weather seems to be drying out because some people decided to go on inters, and they're starting at inters. Maybe it's wet for now, but then possibly gets drier afterwards, and then inters seem to be the quicker tyre. Was I've missed pretty much the starts, I don't know, but yeah. And, well, us being a wet track and a high downforce circuit like Silverstone, overtakes aren't probably going to happen quite often. But, jeez, EXFL Senna, P7, and only 1.2 seconds off Nick. And Redford's like, what the hell? Will is actually having a brilliant race. I'm assuming that's because the wet seem to be the quicker tyre right now, as Frankie is still showing. Saying a never paper lap, but that might be a bit of an indication the track's drying. But the time's still gaining from the Ferrari driver. There was Sam down in 8th in the Alpine, gets the new fastest lap, and he's 1.8 seconds off Will. Will's actually still closing in on the train above him in Nick and Red, and of course Red has been probably one of the quicker drivers in the wet this season, winning in round 1 at Australia in full wet conditions and getting P2 in Imola after having a very bad start, to say the least. And then as soon as it came to the rains, he came to his own, and he might be having a look down the inside of Woizo, who runs a bit wide. Now it invites Red Fire Tiger to go around the outside. Not enough grip in the outside there, though. A lot of standing water, of course. But he will probably have a try, and was about to have a look down the inside. He is ran lower fuel, so he will have to do some lift and coasting later on. But Woizo does survive. He has a lot less batteries as a yellow flag. That is Will. Oh no, it's not Will. It's actually Top Lobster, who I was going to also mention is making his debut in Tier 1. First race in 10, and arriving just at the halfway point as drifting. Probably going to retire. Yes, he has. Not a great day for the man, or season. I think he's still pointless. And Red Fire Tiger, though, making a move down the inside of Stowe. I believe the corner name still elude me. However, I think he has made it. Yes, he has made it done. That's a brilliant move. A very ballsy dive bomb. Nigel Mansell-esque, of course, just add a bit of a 200 kg to your cars and add a bit of weather. He sets a fast lap while he does so. The gap hasn't extended between the two Ferraris, so that might be a sign the Inters are going to come to their own now. But maybe Ferrari want to play this tactic. Frankie will probably, maybe Sam plays a team game. He did take pole, of course, so he might have the quicker pace in the wet, not dry. Sorry. So if it, well, obviously don't know about the wet, but he does have pace. So would Sam play the team game? Ferrari have been loyal to Frankie this season, and he has he has got a very commanding lead. On top there's Sam getting past Will. I think that was just a simple down the inside move into Brooklyn's, I believe this is. I've always struggled on the corner names, but Brooklyn's, that kink. Then you have Cops. I have another battle soon as Red Fire Tiger is on one of his very characteristic charges through the field. And now he's staring down the rear end of the McLaren in F1 Union. And he needs to have a good result because he's chasing down Frankie for the championship. I believe he's closed the gap slightly after finishing P2 in Austria. However, he has Red Fire Tiger right in his rear end though. He's blasting all the battery. Will he go down the inside? He will look to the inside. Will's retired, so there's a safety car as soon as he tries making the move. So just as Red Fire Tiger was neck and neck with F1 Union, he just can't make the move because Will, after having such a good race as DNF'd at Maggots and Beckett's, it was going so well for them. The points were on the cards, and unfortunately the Aston Martin's race goes bang, and that is Will out of the British Grand Prix. Is this a full course or is this simple one? Oh, that's why, yeah, Frankie. It's actually really helped Frankie actually, because now he has the opportunity to chuck on a fresh set of inters and only P6 now. He would have probably lost out to Venaris and Stelios, the Saubers. But now he's actually blessed with the perfect time safety car as soon as inters were getting quicker. So now we will have a 7-lap advantage on those tyres, so that gap might be coming down as quickly as it can do. Red Fire Tiger trying to take the, trying to make the entire track drier, really. Just running as wide as he can. And, oh, safety car has gone in, or virtual safety car has gone in. And Red Fire Tiger was snapping at the heels of F1 Union. I was wondering why they weren't all just saving battery, but that is why, because it was going in. And now the Red Fire Tiger is all in the rear end of F1 Union. Are we going to see a repeat of last lap? No, yeah, 4 damage then. But will the McLaren survive a second attack from Mercedes? Yeah, survived on the whiskers of his teeth, please. Is that the same? In the nick of time, a safety car came out from virtual. But Red Fire Tiger doesn't use his ERS this time, so he will just sit behind, probably try and use it next lap. And now F1 Union has used a bit more of his ERS to cover off the Mercedes. However, now he has to look at that gap behind him with less ERS. And look how closer Red Fire Tiger is now compared to when he was before. He is right in the rear end of Jaden, and he is smelling a P2 right now on track. But also looking at the gap there, I think that's almost pulled down to a second lap then from Frankie. Championship leader and home race, of course, for pretty much everyone. And Red Fire Tiger makes a very ballsy move. I just miss it, but the Mercedes goes down the inside of the loop, I believe that is. But Jaden will try and come back. He will keep the racing line, but Red Fire Tiger will get it done nicely with a straight line speed advantage of the Mercedes. Covers it off well enough, and the Mercedes now looks ahead to the Ferrari of Samuel Lee, the pole sitter, of course. But now, what will happen now? Because these two have not really had a chance to fight for a win for a long time this season. Red had that great start this season, winning 2 of the first 3, I believe, at Australia and Bahrain. Will that mean 4? I can't remember the calendar, but I believe that is right. And after that, he's pretty much had the season to forget. Looking from starting as championship faithful, then falling off pretty much to, I think he's not even in the top 3 in the standings anymore, actually, but he has been gaining a lot of time, so by the time I probably check the standings, he will probably be catched up to Samuel Lee. He's 4th now. He's only a point ahead of Nick in P5, so he will of course be extending his gap to that battle. But then he has a solid 36-point gap to JJ, who of course isn't racing, so the win he'd still end up 4th, and he sets a fast lap of the race on those inters. I expect Frankie will probably break that just coming. And he's already gaining on the sound. Both are using, they have equal levels of battery, so what pretty much got him past F1 unit early on now has a Ferrari with equal level of battery behind him. As Samuel Wrigley does decide to use a bit more of his battery, they're pretty much still on equal levels. Let's just look at position changes. Yeah, Red for Tiger making the great charge. Only 3 people to have pit. Sam and Tom Lobster did come in. Tom Lobster really not having a good race in the back, but first time is never the best time you will have, and it always gets better from rock bottom. So, bit of advice. Going back to the top, as Finier's been gaffed at pretty much a second already, and now it seems like Voizo is going to be on the charge for a potential podium if Frankie cannot catch the rest of them. And we also have Nick, who's still in this chart in this battle. I think he got a podium last time out. Honestly, I'm not sure because I didn't comment it, but that lap seems awfully quick compared to everyone else. Let me just compare lap times. 41, 7 times quicker than compared to Red. Okay, only 2 times quicker than Red Fire Tiger, but Frankie is still definitely finding pace in the Ferrari, and the gap is really quickly, pretty much just shrinking. And of course, he will have a 10-lap tyre advantage, and EXFL Senna has left, so he's getting after it. Don't need him by him back. Oh, here's a little ballad just about course. Sam, he's just going to try and have a look at the inside of Stelios, but he won't have enough room there. He will try and look on the outside, will he? He'll go to the inside of Brooklands, makes the switcheroo, sends Stelios wide. He'll have a look at the inside, no more room at the in for Sam, but he will try again around the outside. He will have the grip, he will have the tyre advantage compared to the Sauber. However, Stelios will hold on with a bit of track position in dirty air and has way more battery to probably survive through cups, but Sam, all in the rear end of the Sauber, will be looking to make a move probably up at Stowe, as he follows really well against the Sauber, and pretty much he's going to lose a bit of time into Magnus because he tries doing the different line, as he also have red right in the heels of Sam directly up ahead. But Sam will keep on board of these two battling for P8 right now. Pretty much the one of the last points main positions behind Top Lobster. But Sam doesn't have the straight line speed to really get past Stelios. He didn't have the battery to burn after trying it at turn 3. As Frankie now first man into the 39s. Quite convincing, it was an 8 as well. But now he should go back to the top, as even F1 Union slowly catching up to this battle. I don't know if I missed a bit of on-track battling, but Sound Wrigley has definitely lost time to F1 Union as well. And do that, I think it's why. I'm just looking at the wrong stat. Where is it? Let's just see it. Both Red Tiger pretty much has twice as much battery as there goes Sam. He actually goes wide against turn 2. He will go down the inside, really. Stelios does run wide, so pretty much a repeat from last lap. Sam does have a nose ahead though, and Stelios will go round the outside. He just goes off the track. Argy-bargy, Robin is racing, as they both say. And now Sam will go down the inside of Brooklyn. Stelios will hang it right around the outside, will carry way more speed. Sam gets the nose back ahead. He will go around the outside. This is brilliant racing, as Stelios still fighting really hard at this point, and he just pushes Sam a bit off track, drifting his left, and he's just managed to get ahead with the straight line speed. And they're still side by side. Oh, a bit of contact. Sam has to eat a load of advertising boards, and Stelios just about stays ahead. Quite aggressive, but as aggressive as you can be. Stelios, great defense to hold on to P8 for now. And he is fighting like life depends on it against that Alpine, and I would sure have him defending for anything else for me. Sam is probably fuming at seeing this Sauber still ahead of him. He might look around the outside of so he will send him the switcheroo again, make Stelios bite the feint. He will tap on the rear end, trying the switchback. Unfortunately, Stelios saw it coming, just parking on the apex, and just still another lap of that Sauber staying ahead of the Alpine. These two have probably been the best rookies of this season, with both the newcomers in Tier 2, from Tier 2, and Red Tiger, look how close he is, almost hitting the rear end of that Ferrari, as I'm sure both of those tyres are probably eating till the end of their lifespan. That, I don't know how to depict if that's tyre wear, but if that red circle is tyre wear, then Jaden is definitely worse off than Red and Sam, just by looking at it. Because look how bigger his red circle is compared to them. Of course, that's just assuming if that is tyre wear. Probably isn't, because Frankie's at the same level. Don't know what it is, but I'm just going to assume it's something to do with tyres. I guess it's deploy. That's probably my best guess. Sam's suddenly lost 16 seconds of Stelios, so I'm assuming they came to blows again. And no, actually, Sam got ahead of Stelios. That's Venaris. Sorry, wrong Sauber. And Sam finally being able to get past, and now he has a clear track ahead of him to catch up to his teammate. And hopefully, he doesn't have to deal with another Sauber holding a massive defense. That's something to be wary about, though. That's a penalty for track limit, second of the day of Top Lobster. Frankie gets into 38. He is flying now. He's pretty much just into almost within 3 seconds of Nick. He's pretty much already caught up to the pack of Brits and an Austrian, of course. I think I just do the math. It's 1, 2, 3. Stelios is a 10-second for speeding. I'm assuming he'll retire. Or he decides to stay. He will decide to stay in, actually. So Stelios will actually just continue on. Has a bit of issue with the braking, which is probably why. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 of the 12 drivers are British today. Of course, we have 2 Greeks, a Austrian, if you include riders French, then you can count it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, that's a bit of a mistake from Sam, which will give Red a very good run up the hill, or a small hill, into Stowe ahead of the Lando Norris stand, which I believe that is right there. I think F1 Union will probably be more cheered on than McLaren's, but Sam survives again as Red will pull the pin on the undercut. Let's see if he will speed into the pits. He will just about keep it stopped as he smashes his way into a barge board. F1 Union will follow him in. As Samuel Drake Lee will go on for another lap. Let's see if the undercut has worked for Samuel Drake Lee. It will work wonders for him with a virtual safety car. And all of a sudden, having the better tyres, he now has worse tyres than the guys ahead of him. But he now has, let's just wait until Red Tiger leaves. This is, of course, the longest pit lane on the calendar. So that virtual pretty much helping Frankie more than it ever would at any other track. Venaris now sneaks into P5. As there's a yellow flag there, that is Top Lobster, who's had his spin. He's retired on track, probably for the best. He hasn't had a good race. There goes the Aston Martin, parking it up. There he goes. There goes Stelios, which now driving for the position he was battling for, pretty much. So hasn't lost out that much. Lee will probably be pushing. Everyone else is pitting. Frankie's got a pit box open for the pit lane. Well, pit lane is open for Frankie, which is odd. Assume he's going to try and make those inters work to the end, but that might be a risk because I don't know how long these inters probably go. 14 laps and he's done. If we just have a look at the tyre, 7 of them are ready. So I don't think Frankie can go to the end. So he might have to try and rely on some pace at the end of this race. And he has got a 15-second buffer to Red Tiger that he will go back down behind the Mercedes and McLaren. However, he will have better tyres. But he does not pit. Salvagically, though, his teammate does, which probably is why the Ferrari stays out for another lap. Which now promotes Woizo into the lead. those laps he's been leading the entire season. In the Alpine, he's had a very unlucky season, has a lot of incidents in his way from some good results. However, the Alpine now leading, probably he has good pace, and when he has the chance to show it, he does show it well in the Alpine. But Frankie showing even more, as he's now on under 3 seconds. I believe he caught 8/10 by that lap. A great lap, great comeback from the Ferrari after pitting under the virtual. Let's just compare last laps. He did a 39.3, quite a 40 flat from Voizo. So Frankie is pretty much flying as Sam is in the pits. I believe there's a yellow flag. Oh no, Sam was actually that's hurt the McLaren, not McLaren, the Alpine more. I think he's just lost the rear end going out of the final corner, as many people do, even in the dry, and that is probably going to send Sam back behind Stelios, so might have more battling to come at the end of this race. The gap is still really, really shrinking fast, as Sam pretty much already gained a second on Voizo. The gap was just above a 3 second, now it's 2.1. So, and also, Venaris is doing a very good solid for Frankie right now. Both Ferrari powered cars, of course, not really many relations in the EXFL. But he is keeping Red Fire Tiger behind. He will defend the inside line and then goes back. So Venaris just helping out Frankie as much as he can, holding up the Mercedes. He's staying out. And so is Frankie actually, and Voizo. So I don't know what the strategy is, but if you look at just how much rain is there. Is it going to dry up? Is it possible that Voizo and Frankie are trying to make it a dries? Maybe Venaris is as well. If we just look at tyres again. That's the wrong one. Yeah, 15 laps on both. So both haven't pitted. Frankie has. I don't know the weather. And there goes Red shooting his way down the inside as Sam picks the penalty. Venaris doesn't have the tyres to fight it. And Sam is retired in the pit lane. Fair enough. There is also Samuel directly. So now the net race leader is Red Fire Tiger. If Frankie and Voizo are making another stop, of course. But if Frankie and Voizo are holding out to a potential dry, then it is Voizo in a best position possible, and he is losing a lot more time on Voizo, so Frankie might be in the best position here. Unless it rain doesn't stop. He is relying on the weather clouds up above to do him another solid. He would have had a lot of good luck come his way this race. But it could be very deserving drive, and winner home would be something for Frankie, and another statement made as he's pretty much charging on to potentially winning his first EXFL championship. I believe he's been here for a couple of seasons. I don't know how many to be exact, but if he wins today, he would be, well, of course, if Venaris would go down, Jin would be 4th, I think. Yeah. If he won today, he'd be on, I believe, 191 points. If my math stands correct. 1 plus 25, that would be, yes, 191. And if Jaden finished, that's put him down for P3. 145 plus, I believe P3 is 15 points. 160. So a 31 point lead, which Jaden has been slowly crunching into. That would be something for Frankie, but look how dry the track is now. That wet line that dry line has pretty much expanded, and now is pretty much covering the entire track. So if it dries up, then Voizo and Frankie are in the best positions ever, as Venaris is now under pressure from both Sam and Efren. Efren has lost a lot more time compared to Red Fire Tiger and Sam Drake Lee. Both of them have lost, well, Efren Union has appeared on the same lap, but lost 4 seconds to both. I don't know where the pace has gone from McLaren, who's second in the championship, pushing potentially for his second. He won season 1 in the McLaren, of course, and he's now losing time. His teammate Nick is slowly catching, but just look how dry the track is getting, And it would be insane if Woizo made those tyres last. 16 laps to the good on those inters. 17 now as it updates. It would be a very deserved drive if Woizo holds on and potentially takes a win. Redford Tiger sets the fastest lap of the race. I would love to see what drivers are thinking. If drivers are getting quicker, Salvador Lee just tucks down the inside, well, outside of Venaris, who just lets both of them through. Probably trying more to make it to the end on these tyres, rather than fight the others for position, which would hurt his tyres even more. But right now, it's pretty much just banking on the weather for Frankie and Woizo. Ooh, up now. For a second I thought Venaris was on put on a said rise. However, he could not make the into last. I don't know if he had a puncture, but that is the Sauber coming in. But now Woizo is he's gone wide. Those tyres are definitely. Has he got a puncture? He has got a puncture. Oh no! You can just see the rear left, I believe, gone pop. And that is horrible for Woizo. He's having such a good race making those inters last, and was just preying on it being dry. But now, unfortunately, that tyre just ruins any chances he had of potential podium, and he might be able to make it back. And if he's feeling positive, he can do a gamble on softs. He now pretty much has nothing to lose. Venaris probably suffered the same fate down there in P7, and here comes Woizo in the pits. He doesn't speed, he just keeps it in. But that is horrible to see from the Alpine. He was having such a good race. Red for Tiger now promoted into P2, 6 seconds to Frankie in P1 with 6 laps to go. Or 7 seconds actually. And Frankie is going to try and make those last then. Seeing as Woizo made them go 19. Easy on for the Ferrari driver. He will have to pretty much just hope his tyres can at least make him not go slower than a second a lap to Red Fire Tiger. And Red Fire Tiger is still low on fuel, which is probably hurting him more. Of course, he probably has a wet setup on, as he usually does, and that will probably be eating way more into his fuel than he needs. And he is flickering though, so he is pretty much on the cusp. So I'd think it's much better off for him than you'd think. As probably will go back down after Cops. No, it doesn't. But yeah, if we just compare the lap times of the Ferrari and the Mercedes, a 42 for Frankie compared to a 38.1, 2 seconds a lap quicker was Red for Tiger last lap. So suddenly, is this Red for Tiger's race? Has he got an outside chance of stealing a victory? He's had some extreme bad luck for the last couple of races. However, is this going to be the first time Redford Tiger has taken victory in pretty much a month or two. He has had a very long drive. He's got a 37.3. That Mercedes is flying along. Flashbacks to 2016 as a 37 and a 37.2. I think I said a 36.3. 37. That's a pretty much 1.5 second gain. So 5.3. He needs a second a lap. So he is pushing his Mercedes. He still has to worry about that fuel, of course, but this is the pretty much net battle for the win now. It's between the Mercedes and the Ferrari, which I thought at the start of the season was going to be the championship battle, but it's looking like it's going to get a very feisty finish to this Silverstone Grand Prix. We just look back to the times. When was the last time Redford Tiger won a race this season? Of course, it was in Bahrain, making a very commanding two-stop work. That's there. The 12th of July was the last time Redford Tiger saw the top step of the podium in the EXFL, and of course it's currently the 29th of August, so there has been pretty much almost 2 months. Frankie's sped in the pit lane! Frankie is sped in the pit lane. He has pit, so his tyres weren't going to the end anyway. And, oh, no, he's gone to mediums though. So, hang on a minute. Is it dry? Is it dry? It's like it's POV. It's still raining. But Frankie, I don't know what's happened to him. Did he have a possible puncture? He sped in the pit lane anyway, so that is his race pretty much done. And that is gutting for the championship leader, who will now be losing so much points to the cars ahead of him. It's still raining as well. So, oh, and he's spun. This race has gone falling out of Frankie's hands. And what looked like he could have made it work, he couldn't make those tyres last like Moiso did. And now it goes from pretty much bad to worse as the mediums wound the gamble, and that sees Frankie pretty much losing points, even more points to Jane and Sam. Jane is actually right in the rear end of Sam directly, so if he wants to maybe make this championship much more interesting, that Ferrari will have to defend quite aggressively, as Redford Tiger now pretty much can just cruise home. Fuel pretty much no longer an issue for him because he had 8 seconds to the good, and if it only chance he has, if it does dry out and all of a sudden those mediums just turn on for Frankie, he is gaining a Moiser though, so the gap is pretty much, well, now is actually growing, so maybe the inters are quicker. As Red's in, hang on a minute, it's still raining, but it seems like the dries. Red's made the gamble, and he's gone into the... Oh, he's gone for inters. What? Huh? Brilliant timing, but... absolutely amazing comedic timing for the game to kick me off the audio. That's befumbled, that's fuzzled me. I don't know why Red's done that. Frankie's got the undercut though. So, well, undercut in brackets, he was 3 seconds ahead, but then now barely ahead of Red. But I'm confused. Is 8 laps not enough when some people went 10 laps on them? 10 laps longer than that. I am very confused. Redford Tiger has pretty much just thrown away a chance to win this race for a P5 at pretty much best. As is that Nick just trying to cool off his tyres, and that's maybe he was just pushing too hard on those tyres, and he just couldn't make it into the end. But that is now all of a sudden this battle for what was P3 2 laps ago now is a battle for the win between Sam Lee and F1 Union. Sam has better tyres as Frankie picks up a penalty as well. So bad to worse to even worse. And if we just look at penalties, he would actually fall to P7 behind behind Venaris. So Venaris on track to get his best finish in EXFL. However, Frankie on his worst finish of the season, I think. If I'm not wrong, Austria is probably up there, because I don't think he had a podium. He finished 4th, so even then, like, he has had such a good season. This is his worst race of the season. Only now we're getting into the bad races, but just got a feel from Izzy. Now is being looked down the inside by Redford. So he has enjoyed that move quite a lot, as Frankie just doesn't have a tyre to fighter. Sandwich Lee has extended the gap though, so he's now a second clear of F1 Union. And on the fresher tyres, that seems to be, well, as it stands, that possibly might be the win for Sandwich Lee. As F1 Nico is still actually gaining on Jaden. Possible McLaren fighting? But that's befumbled me. That red pit stop has just left a massive question mark in my head. I don't know why he's done that, but Astorios has a fast lap on the Inters. I believe on the TAs on the Inters. But Frankie's now actually still keeping with Red for Tiger. So maybe now is pretty much entering the crossover point. A bit too late for the Ferrari wheeler. And now you start the penultimate lap of the race. The gap is 1.6. If we just have a look at warnings, that possibly could come into play for the Ferrari, possibly. We are looking at, I think that's 2 warnings for Sandwich Lee. Are they both on track, exceeding the track limits? And yep, they are both 2 on track warnings for Sam. Is it? Oh, I thought Nick was spinning then. Union also has 2 warnings. So, and Nick, 1 warning. So, in a span of a lap, this could all change. 2 penalties for Sam and Jaden could possibly throw Nick his first win of the season. But that's if, only if, these 2 make a mistake, which they haven't done the entire race. Pole sitter versus runner-up in the championship as it stands. I think Boyce has got a penalty, so that would put him. That would send Red up to P4. So he will just gain any extra position. Maybe though, if Boyzo has decent enough pace in the wet, then actually Frankie still can't hold on. Yeah, even then, somehow, some way, possibly. Well, Red can come back with P4, but you stand in a win, and oh, DRS is enabled. Okay, so it is now a big question mark. Do people come in for tries? I think it's too late. Oh, we started the final lap anyway. I thought it was starting lap 25. But Sandwich has now pretty much got a couple of kilometers away from taking his first win of the season. It has been such an unlucky season for Ferrari. I think he's sits lonely down in P6 in the standings. A couple, well, I think 19 points away from Nick. But that gap will definitely be closing out Ferrari, with the pulling away a slight bit in the constructors. After that, oh, he spun! Puncture! Oh my god! Oh my god! Sam has a last lap puncture. Is Jaden gonna puncture? What the? Oh my god! Lewis Hamilton cries, and Samuel J. Lee has had a last lap puncture. Maybe Red has just made the gamble of the century pitting. Is Jaden gonna get a puncture? Voizo is pretty much there. He's got the lead. Jaden is proved side by side with him into Brooklyn's. Well, Maggins and Beckett, sorry. He gets through, but what the hell is just happened? Has Nick got a puncture possibly? Oh my god, the tyres have gone for 2 of them. Jaden, which has barely any track left on his traction. As Frankie, all of a sudden, is back into P3. He has no battery left, but I think Voizo will win on track. But if he doesn't get a puncture these last 2 corners, F1 Union might take his first win in a while. I think this would be second race win of the season. Actually, no, he hasn't won it yet. But he will now. So F1 Union will cross the line. He is finally a race winner again. Well, I think he's won before, actually. But Red Fur Tiger comes back to steal P3. That was such a finish. What the hell just happened? Simon Drakely comes home and beats his teammate still. Oh my god. So, Red with the gamble. I'm never doubting that man with a strategy ever again. He's came back and taken a podium. Voizo gets P2. Wow. What the hell did I just witness? That has to be one of the best finishes to a race for a long time. Samuel Drake Lee, as I said, a couple of corners away from winning, that gets a puncture halfway through the lap. And then all of a sudden, Frankie came in and get P2. Voizo all of a sudden got up to P1. And F1 Union managing to look after those tyres while being a lap older than Samuel Drake Lee is taking the win. At home as well, that gap will be cut down by 15 points as well. That McLaren will also take the lead in the Constructors, both of them beating Ferrari and only having a 3-point gap. That gap will be overturned and McLaren will now lead. And if we just look at the driver's standings, that was something. 145 plus the 25 he has, that would be 170. So 6 points is the gap. Jaden is now well and truly in the title fight. There's the McLaren dancing on the top step of the podium. And oh, Nick got a podium. What the hell? I thought Red got a podium. No, Nick has somehow got back into P3. What? Hang on a minute. Why is he there? I swear he got P... What the hell happened to Red? Why is he now in P8? Have I missed something else? Have I missed something else out of the blue? I swear he got a podium. What? That's also bizarre, but out of nowhere. That is some race. F1 Union takes the win, and Nick actually gets a podium. I have swore I had the P3. Oh, I think it's just a leaving glitch, which has just promoted him. And wow. I guess I should get the race winner in. And there is June. Let me just put that on.
Evening.
Evening. I think the only one I can interview. So.
What was the podium? Fire, 30, me?
Yeah.
30, yeah, no, Fire. I mean, he has got an Xbox, but I don't think he'll pop over.
Does?
I don't think he does interviews.
No, I don't think I hear the man speak. No offense, so.
I'll send him an invite if you want. But
I'll only do the one. I need to get off anyway. Anyway,
yeah.
Just what the hell just happened to that last lap? That was crazy. I literally said at the start of lap, Sam has a couple of kilometers away from winning, and then not even a couple of kilometers away, he gets a puncture, and then oh my! How stressed were you on that last lap as soon as you saw Sam with a puncture and you had to lap all the tires? That must have been the worst feeling.
Or to be honest,
scary feeling.
I kept pretty calm. Obviously, I didn't say anything in like the last lap or two. I was pretty focused, but that race was really weird in terms of strategy.
It was very weird.
I don't even know if anyone did the exact same strat in terms of pitting on the same lap, because Sam pitted one lap later than me. I pitted on the same lap as Fire, but he made one more stop. And all that.
At first, I really doubted that. I thought
as soon as Fire went in, I was like, screw it, I'm following him in. I wasn't planning to pit, and then I just thought, screw it, I'll follow him in. And I thought I sped. Honestly, I don't know how I didn't. I also was on 2 warnings after 12 laps, and there must have been a few times through Beckett's maggots. I thought, oh, there's the 3. Oh, there's not the 3. A bit of luck on my side, but also a bit of bad luck as well. I was annoyed to lose out on pole by, I think, 400ths.
I wasn't here for qualifying, so it doesn't matter to me.
Because of the rain in the race, me and Nick messed around for like 5 minutes thinking, should we do this, should we do that? And then even before heading out, I was like, remember, you got to get out early and do your laps because long pit lane and whatnot. So I do my first run, I do my second run. I'm not happy with either of them because I know I can do 6s and 5s, so I only did a 7. I was like, okay, one more run. There's 2.5 minutes left. I look at the clock, I'm like, oh shit. And I was like, maybe no one will beat that 3/10 margin, but then Sam put in a really good lap, his middle sector. I didn't see it, I just saw the time, but it was really quick. So props to him on the. But he should have, to be honest, deserved the win. But
he did deserve the win.
I wouldn't he got a puncture, didn't he?
But yeah, puncture at Brooklands.
Yeah. Well, I said with like 3 laps to go, it's going to be 2020 all over again at this rate.
Yeah. It pretty much was. I was just scouring for everyone who didn't pit, just looking if they had a puncture, and I just speechless.
Oh
That's probably top 10 races of all time, just for the finish.
I'm so happy with that. You don't know how fucking long. This is season 12 for crying out loud. I've never won the British Grand Prix, and it's always been one of my goals to. There's 2 tracks on the calendar I've always wanted to win that I haven't heading into the season. This in Singapore. And heading into today, I told Nick, I was like, if I'm not going to be satisfied with anything lower than first. And then I saw the rain. Last season, me would have probably think, oh, great, rain. But even though
rain, go away.
Wished for rain a lot of the time. Today, I didn't really want it. But it came, and that was the situation I was dealt, the hand I was dealt, so I had to deal with it. I wasn't the quickest at the start. Sorry?
Play the cards you dealt.
Yeah, exactly. You make your own luck, I guess. But
yeah,
the start, I wasn't feeling. It's typical with wet races, wet starts. The first 4 laps, I'm never really in the groove. But after 4 laps, I was in the groove. And then when it was proper winter, I do love those conditions, to be fair. So I felt pretty quick. I felt quicker than Sam because just before Fire pitted, they were pulling away. It was like 1.9, 2.5. I was like, oh, they're too quick. And then Sam came out the pit lane, and then the rest of the race I was on him. I felt quicker than him. And then in the last 5 laps, when Nick mentioned the tyre wear, because I thought they would get to the end just fine. He mentioned tyre wear. I looked at mine,
too, because
57%. I'm like, shit, 5 laps to go or something. And then starting the second last lap, I think they were on 75, 77. So I must have finished the race on 83 or so. I didn't look at it after the penultimate. And by then I just kind of backed off and let Sam go ahead. Nick said he was safe because his was worse than mine. Yeah, he was gaining on me. So I don't understand that because I was
And he
really
bet a lot
trying to.
earlier than you.
No, I think he
think he
bet a lot
did.
later than me.
Oh no, he did. He did. Yeah, it
Yeah,
would have
yeah,
been typical anyway.
yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, Nick's tires didn't puncture. Apparently, well, his looked intact,
I was going to say
and
because
mine somehow didn't.
Voiser managed to make them go 18 and 19 laps,
Yeah,
and
fair
then
play
air
to him.
puncture. I didn't get to see the start, and I was just thinking, okay, you can take that's how long you can stretch out a
Yeah.
stint. Then all of a sudden, I'm seeing punctures like lap 12. Like
Oh,
Jesus, like that. Everything in that race was just so fun.
I finished. I finished. My best result at Silverstone in the 11 seasons we've done is third, 3 times.
Ooh.
Season 1, finished third. I thought I might win, but pens and whatnot got changed and whatnot. So I finished third. Season 8, I finished third. It was just a bit of a train. Alex won, TB second. I had one look at TB, turned in on me and nearly spun. So I fell third. And last season, this is redemption, I think, because last season, on the last lap, it was me, Frankie, and James fighting, heading into Brooklands, because, DRS games. I overtook a pair of them because they slowed down, which I shouldn't have done because they both got me back on the, the straight into Stowe, the hangar straight, whatever. So I made a mistake. I should have slotted in between, but it all got, I say messy, it was fair, but I threw away a potential win last season and I finished third again. So this season, I just needed to win. Like,
Am I not wrong saying that's first win? Or was that
second win
of the season?
Spain, I won. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Should have
That's
been
kind of like tossing through which one.
Well,
which in the last lap.
Throughout today, I was thinking, wow, halfway mark, we're done now. So 2 weeks until the next one. I'm like, one win to your name. Is that really it? It should be a bit more than that. But I'm glad it's at least 2. It could have been like 5, but I'll admit I made some errors. But yeah, today, well,
even with those errors,
some with others, yeah.
out of nowhere, 15 points is the gap now, I believe, in the standing. Oh, is it 15? Oh, I did the math earlier. I said the math in the stream.
Me and Nick went into today 3 points behind Ferrari. We've got 37 points to their 18. So that's 19, 3. We're 16 ahead of them now, I think. So yeah, and I went into
Frankie
today
finish, sorry.
6th. I went in because he spared and got the 3. So I went into today 21 behind him because I won and he's 6. That's 17. I'm 4 points behind him now.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm 38 ahead of James because he missed today.
I think I said 6.
It would have been interesting to see what James could have done as well. I don't think
pole and third for something.
I don't think it would have been a simple pole to win for him, considering all the changes.
We can just guarantee the pole, though.
Probably, yeah. Let's put it all. To be honest, I thought Paul was on today, and I definitely
just because JJ wasn't it.
Should have got it, but I mean, props to Sam. You can always say these if buts. Maybe it's like, oh, if the game didn't do this, or if I didn't do that, at the end of the day, it happened. So you got to accept.
Don't do if buts and maybes. You do absolutes.
Exactly.
Yeah, so going into 10 races again to finish off this great season so far. How do you think now? How do you feeling after coming into this race? The gap was going into this race, the gap was 21. In the 30s to Frankie. 21, sorry.
It was 37 points after Italy. Right, I could have won, but I threw it away. So 30 points should have gone down to 23, but it went up to 37. 37 has now gone down to 4.
Yeah, so that comeback is amazing. And now we have a genuine championship fight out of nowhere. So, do you think you can topple Frankie? Of course, only 4 points, but obviously we hope is there. But
I hope so. I know I can do it. It's just always
next.
Hungary.
Isn't it?
Sorry,
is that not next?
Yeah, Hungary's in 2 weeks. Mid-season break now.
Lovely.
Yeah. This part of the season's always a bit for me. Like, I might have started off okayish. The middle's a bit of a point toss. I don't think in the first 15 races of any season I've got 2 wins. I've only ever had 1, I think. It's always the end of the season I do really well. I get a lot of wins. Granted, but that might be because, I don't know, some others think the championships are wrapped up or not, or maybe there's a lot of reasons, but there's some good tracks at the end of the season. So the fact I'm doing well now, it gives me confidence for the rest.
Yeah, I don't know the rest, but I have to look up the calendar every single time.
Typical real life calendar.
Yeah.
The only difference is Vegas is up a few more. It's with Texas pretty much. Besides that, everything. Oh, and Brazil and Abu Dhabi are swapped.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So if all goes well, I'll hopefully be seeing a championship fight end up at Brazil. But
I hope
now
it's
at
not.
least we got 2 weeks this time instead, and see you in September for the Hungarian Grand Prix.